Hey guys, Yulan is out on CN and I'm trying out a new type of video for you guys. So if you would like to see more videos like this one, please make sure to like and subscribe and also leave a comment telling me about what needs changing. So let's get on with a quick explanation on CN's newest Frost attacker. Do note that the translation of all her skills and effects in this video are done painstakingly by me personally, which means that they could be different from the real deal when Yulan hits global. And of course, all the numbers here are CN numbers, so expect the usual global balancing. Yulan's base form looks like a proper martial artist with some very obvious inspirations taken from Chun-Li. At 3 stars, she gets a tight bodysuit with some heavy emphasis on her amazing assets. Hata clearly knows what they're doing here. Normal attacks. Yulan's normal attacks have a very strong hit feel. Combined with chi control from her Tai Chi-esque form, every hit from her punches make you feel good. Yulan has 2 forms, Martial Artist and Raid form. In Martial Artist form, she has greatly enhanced combo abilities. You can mix in branch attacks during her basic attack combos and also follow up with the tail end of her basic attack combo after each dodge attack. This combo capability is not present when she's in Raid form. The specific differences between the 2 forms will be explained in detail later. Now, let's talk about the special skill in the normal attack page called Return to Origin, which really isn't an attack since it deals no damage. Triggered by holding the attack button, Yulan will assume a Tai Chi pose, entering a hyper body state and continuously suck in nearby targets. With a relatively wide suck range, this skill is very effective on gathering enemies, making it great for players who prefer to AFK farm materials, while paired with their AoE damaging matrices. Dodge attacks. Yulan's dodge attack is very interesting. When triggered using the direction keys, she will quickly rotate and attack nearby targets, like Chun-Li's spinning bird kick. When in the martial artist form, the dodge attack can be comboed into the 4th hit of the basic attack chain, quickly skipping to the high damage multipliers in her basic attack. Additionally, after using a dodge attack, Yulan will gain hyper body for 5 seconds. Skill and discharge skill. Yulan has 2 forms, martial artist and raid form. You can switch between these forms in the skill settings page just like Fiona. The effects of her skills and discharge abilities also differ between these forms. In the martial artist form, the damage dealt by dodge attacks and normal attacks are increased by 40%. Additionally, after using any weapon to dodge or normal attack 3 times, you will gain 1 point of inner strength. You can gain up to 10 points of inner strength, and you can only gain 1 point of inner strength every 2 seconds. In the martial artist form, skill cast will consume inner strength to boost her damage multipliers. The maximum amount of inner strength that can be consumed is 5 points, resulting in a disgusting 10,101% damage multiplier. After using the skill, frost damage will also increase by 20%, and you will regain 2 dodge charges. Additionally, when the amount of inner strength reaches 5 points, the skill's cooldown will be refreshed. The discharge skill in this form, however, does nothing special, as the martial artist form's main goal is to utilize dodge attacks and basic attacks to stack inner strength, and then consuming the stacks with her skills to unleash periodic bursts in a rotation. In the raid form, landing Yulan's discharge gives her the power accumulation state, in which she gains 1 point of battle will every 0.8 seconds, up to a maximum of 15 points. The power accumulation state lasts for 60 seconds and all battle will points are cleared when out of combat. In raid form, skills provide additional damaging effects. When in the power accumulation state, releasing any weapon skill will consume up to 5 points of battle will, and deal up to an additional 3,930% damage to nearby targets, and also inflict a continuous damage effect of 270% damage on the target. After using any ice elemental weapon skill, the character gains a 2-second hyper body. In raid form, after hitting the target with a discharge, frost damage is increased by 20% and enters the power accumulation state. Additionally, when using Yulan's weapon, releasing a discharge grants her 1,000 weapon charge, allowing for an extra use of discharge. This effect can trigger a maximum of once every 10 seconds. In raid form, the primary method of dealing damage is by spamming frost weapon skills to trigger Yulan's passive. Regardless of the aforementioned forms, Yulan will get the passive effect of cold air, which allows her to ignore 30% of the target's frost resistance, which remains active even when the weapon is in the background. Unique passive and simulacra trait. The unique passive of Yulan allows her to deal damage to nearby targets when landing any weapon's discharge skill. This damage primarily boosts the lower limits of her damage output, enabling significant damage even without the help of good gears for new players, making open world exploration easier and more enjoyable. These new 3.0 weapons are truly beginner friendly. Yulan's Simulacra trait provides significant damage boost in both forms. It's always a good choice to pair Yulan's trait with any weapon configuration. However, if Fiona is in the team, it's more appropriate to prioritize Fiona's trait instead. Weapon stars and matrices. The 1-star effect of the weapon mainly increases inner strength and battle will accumulation, and provides a 5% final damage boost, resulting in a roughly 15 to 20% increase in overall damage. The 3-star effect provides HP recovery, granting more room for error and survivability in practical combat. It also enhances the efficiency of inner strength accumulation in the martial artist form, resulting in a moderate boost to her damage output. The 5-star effect provides a cheat death buff, which is particularly important in Boundless Realm and Origin of War. Finally, the 6-star effect increases final damage after consuming inner strength or battle will, resulting in an overall damage increase of around 10%. Yulan's 2-piece matrices provide additional AoE damage and final damage bonus. The 4-piece set provides final damage and all elemental damage bonuses. However, compared to the previous Frost matrices, the improvement is there but pretty moderate, and it is specifically tailored for Yulan, falling short of the more generic Icarus matrices. Team comps and rotation. Yulan's team comp varies depending on her form selection. Let's start with the martial artist form. The weapon choice in this form is highly flexible and revolves around maximizing Yulan's damage output. The optimal combination is Yulan, Alice, and Fiona, with both Alice and Fiona recommended to be at least 1 star, while Yulan can be at 0 stars. Other viable weapon options include Tsubasa, Claudia, and Liu Hu. From this, we can see that Yulan's requirements for the team are very low in the martial artist form. Now, let's explain the overall rotation for the team. The damage rotation of the martial artist form primarily relies on dodge attacks or normal attacks to accumulate inner strength points, aiming to stack up to 10 points. Then, under the effect of Khan's burst window, she continuously unleashes skills to consume inner strength for high burst damage. The overall rotation is relatively simple and straightforward. Regarding matrices selection, for free-to-play or low spenders, the optimal choice is to equip Yulan with active matrices, 2-piece Samir, 2-piece Crow, 2-piece Shiro, or 2-piece Habola. For other weapons, it is recommended to use background matrices, such as 4-piece Habola, 4-piece Scylla, or 4-piece Saki, which is soon to be in standard on CN. Next is the team comp for raid form. It is best to pair Yulan with Icarus, and for the other weapon, you can choose either Fiona, Alice, Tsubasa, or Claudia. In this setup, the main goal is to quickly charge and unleash Yulan's Discharge to gain the power accumulation state, and then use Icarus's Discharge. After using his Discharge, you will gain his sub-skill usage count, and finally, use Icarus sub-skills to deal damage and trigger Yulan's skill passive for damage output. It's important to note that if you have 1-star Alice, when Alice activates her field with her skill, Yulan can also trigger her Discharge skill passive and gain Discharge skill usage counts in the foreground. When Alice copies Yulan's skill, she will first use Alice Discharge, which is considered as being triggered by Yulan, so it can activate in the Discharge passive. In a team with Fiona, you can use the Icarus sub-skill 4 times, while without Fiona, you use it twice instead. Regarding matrices, since Icarus's damage contribution is not low and Yulan is usually in the background, you cannot efficiently use active matrices like 2-piece Samir and 2-piece Crow, so this team requires 3 background matrices sets. For free-to-play and low spenders, this can prove challenging, but the recommendation is any Frost matrices set paired with the 4-piece Habola and 4-piece Scylla, with Yulan equipping the 4-piece Habola. Yulan is a versatile character that can be paired with various teams, and there are 2 forms for players to choose from. For players on a low budget, getting Yulan at 0 or 1 star is already sufficient to enjoy the game. 3 stars and 5 stars are only necessary for tackling high-level challenges, so players can choose based on their gacha resources. For matrices, if you're a new player, it's recommended to use the Meroria gachapon machines for 2-piece Samir, 2-piece Crow, and 4-piece World Boss matrices Habola and Scylla. For players who have been playing for a while and are spending a bit on the game, you may consider getting a limited Frost set and then use 4-piece World Boss matrices on the other 2 weapons. This way you'll have triple background matrices. Finally, if you have any questions, feel free to come over to my Twitch channel or join my Discord, and I will be happy to answer your questions. Thank you, and see you in the next video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already.